Okay, I've actually had a pretty good year in general. I think something that I tend to do quite well is trade ranges. I actually underperform when BTC goes on a ripper and the market starts trending hard. But I learned the vast majority of my trading in like 2022 when market was kind of like choppy and trending down. I think something I do really well is trade the quote unquote chop. Whereas when BTC starts running, I find it very difficult to get entries. Not
Yeah,
only
it's a
that,
lot easier to be a dumb person in a bull run.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
But like, even like
you know what I mean?
setups are harder, I think, when BTC is trending hard because it's like there isn't as clear an invalidation on the idea. Sometimes entries just keep running. You feel like you're top longing a little bit, which can be different if you're used to trading ranges where the entries are a little bit more precise, the rules are a little bit more defined. I don't know. Do you have the same difficulty, or have you found the
What you
same?
should do is spend a few days and go chart gold or Euro USD or any sort of FX pair. You'll be amazed at how well your strategies work in FX, because that's what the traditional markets do is they range. They go up for a while, then they go down for a while, they go sideways for long periods of time. When the market is giga trending in crypto, your best bet generally is just to hold on fucking tight because it's really hard to get entries on something where the daily chart or the 3-day chart or the weekly chart is just consecutive green candles. And it's like, well, where are the retests? Where are the opportunities? You really got to be looking on the lower time frames if you're trying to execute like a trader. So I find when the market is really, 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 really bullish, I'm just doing things that are super, super easy. Like if I see a breakout on the weekly or the 3-day, I might just long and I'll put my stop at the last swing low. Like I'm not trying to, be super, super technical with it and say, okay, well, what's the most precise entry that's going to give me the best risk reward? I'm just trying to get exposure because it is really hard. I mean, if you just even look back to January to March of this year, I mean, there was basically 0 weekly retests the entire way up, right? So where are you getting in? So if you do go down to the lower time frames, basically on the daily, every time we broke out on the daily, right, you could put your stop at the low that broke the daily out and you never got stopped out except for here. And then here you had to reclaim, okay, I'm getting in, but this is the low that broke the daily high. You're longing here, and it seems like you're top longing, but your stop's just at prior day's low, right? But when we're really trending, it just fucking rips. And so I do think it's a double-edged sword. I think people like yourself who come in a top or a bear market, you become a really good trader and you're probably going to
Yeah,
underperform a lot of people in the bull run.
yeah.
But the upside is when the market turns or the conditions change, you're going to make more and keep more of your money, right? That's kind of the trade-off. Whereas if you learn how to trade in up only, as soon as that regime is no longer there, you're going to give back so much of the money you made. I had lots of friends who printed millions of dollars last cycle, and then were asking me for loans in the bear market because they traded the entire bear market as if it was still a bull market, right? So I'm very comfortable where I'm at financially, and I'm much more interested in maintaining my wealth and building it slowly and systematically. I don't have the need to hit a home run anymore. I can hit a bunch of singles and maybe the occasional double. That's a baseball analogy. Like I don't need to get the big shot every time. Whereas early in your career, when you're trying to turn a little money into a lot of money, you need those home runs. But home runs are meaningless if you give them up right back. So I'm much more willing to play conservative and defensively. And yeah, it's more boring, right? People are like, oh, this is so boring. You're only going for 2R and you're closing here. And I'm like, yeah, when you start risking 5 or 10K per trade, right? And that's your 1R, maybe even more, 20, 30K for 1R. And you can make 2 or 3R on a trade. And if you can do that consistently, regardless of what the size of your R is, that's a metric fuck ton of money.